everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 182. I'm Casey. Hi. Hi, everybody. We have Kenchua.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618, hot and fresh out the dryer for your snuggling pleasure.
Okay. I'm sure there are people that are interested in that.
Hi.
Spoken's here.
Hey.
And Patience here.
Remain the only one on this podcast who is either sane or at least is good at pretending that he is sane.
I'm good at pretending I'm sane.
You're usually good at pretending you're sane, Patient.
Yeah, well...
I've seen your brainstorming sessions with Zom.
I beg your pardon, what did you say?
I've seen some of the brainstorming sessions with Zomniac. You're usually good at pretending sanity.
Fair enough, fair enough. Does my voice provide an impediment to that? I mean, most people, the only exception being my girlfriend, think that my voice can be serial killer-ish.
Yeah, you have a little bit of a supervillain thing going on. A little bit. But it's an endearing kind of supervillain. Yeah. The laugh works too, also.
You're like Lex Luthor looking out from his tower over Metropolis.
I am not bald.
That's what you hung up on?
Not every Lex Luthor is bald.
Really?
In fairness, I think the only one that isn't bald is who the fuck played him in Batman Superman?
No, there's been multiple Lex Luthors with hair.
Yeah, he has red hair apparently.
The villainous Alexander Luthor, younger, more attractive alternate reality version of Luthor from before DC went completely down the shitter, had a massive red Jufro.
Huh.
Lex Luthor with an afro.
I can't see that. I don't want to see that before anyone decides to link it in the chat.
Oh, because I was about to.
That kind of, I feel like just seeing that would kind of just undermine everything I know about Lex Luthor. It just does not gel with, megalomaniacal, post-humanist Lex Luthor.
They actually redid the hair, apparently. It's still, really weirdly, stupidly curly, but...
Yeah, bald. Oh, bit of an echo. But it kind of gives it, it's a dignified kind of bald. He maintains it, and you gotta respect that.
I will concede that.
An image of him from Crisis on Infinite Earths.
He said he didn't want to see it.
Okay. That's not as bad as it could have been.
You were expecting straight up
Mirror B.
Art Garfunkel fucking...
He said Jufro, okay? Yeah. No.
It's that 80s Jerry curl, son.
Yeah. The bald look works. It does. He doesn't have the stupid ring of hair that you get on some bald people where it's just the top has gone. That always looks stupid, and it looks like they just don't care anymore.
Careful now. You don't want to inadvertently insult someone who listens to this podcast.
Or someone who's currently on the podcast.
Do you have that?
I'll be getting that within 10 years.
Well, in which case, advice, just fucking own it. If it happens, just own it and just get rid of all of it.
I intend to.
Yeah.
Oh, also, talking of stupid hairstyles on Lex Luthor, at one point he looked like Man in the Iron Mask reject.
The Man in the Iron Mask. I knew that story, But wasn't the whole point of that mask to cover his face?
No, the Leo DiCaprio movie.
Yeah, my sister loves that film. Or did when she was like 13. I don't know whether she still likes it.
Why don't you ask her?
I probably will. I have to...
It looks like the fifth musketeer, Larry.
Yeah. You mean Laramis?
Anyway.
So, what have you been up to, Casey?
I did some writings and stuff. I was actually productive and managed 2 chapters in the space of a week. So...
Me both. Yeah.
Yeah. Writing buddies. Kenshi, what you been doing?
The same thing, only much more spread out. So nothing got done.
Wow. Tables turn once again. I am more productive than Kenshi. It's how that...
You realize that when I
checks out.
you realize that when I kick, like I'm gonna drop 5 stories over the course of 5 days, right?
I'm not seeing it though. That's the thing. I'm just sitting here,
What?
sitting on 2 chapters, and you're just like tumbleweed, motherfucker.
Oh, well, I'm so glad it took you 4 years to finally turn the tide.
So this is news. Within a minute of citing the protocols of the Elders of Zion, Sheikh Abd al-Wahhab al-Maliki, an Egyptian cleric, said that there are economic benefits to female circumcision.
Ah!
I'm bowing out now. Type in the text when you're finished talking about this. I don't want to hear.
Oh, that's it. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that either.
You can't hear.
Yeah, he's literally muted in both sides.
Oh, he really would not have done well for Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, Lord, no. No.
Was that who wouldn't have done well with Cards Against Humanity?
You.
I didn't. That's what I thought.
Though I suppose the 2 rounds where you either bowed out or self-destructed would have been vaguely.
Yeah. No, I like Patient too much to put him through that.
You contemplated it.
I'm willing to put people through discomfort if I know that it won't last long, just like I'm willing to go through discomfort for other people's amusement.
Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
No, don't thank him. He was contemplating it. Didn't you hear that hum and dead silence for like 5 seconds? He thought about it.
I was trying to think of how to phrase it diplomatically, thank you.
The importance isn't whether or not he contemplated it. The importance is the decision that he came to.
Sure, let's go with that.
Honestly, you should know better than this by now. Or should you? Perhaps I'm simply having a bit too much naive hope.
You shouldn't overestimate Kenshi. He will disappoint you at every turn, like how he doesn't, release new chapters every week like he should.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Kenshi, I wanted to talk about something that my girlfriend brought up involving Shinobi of the High Seas, Soren's Devil Fruit. If I may ask, is its ability to control acid?
No, just create acid.
Yeah, it's like the acid version of Mr. Five's fruit.
I see. Well, that, even if it's just creation, that does bring up a rather interesting way that he could make something utterly broken. Deoxyribonucleic acid.
I'm going to pretend like I know what that is, and I'm nodding and
The
understanding.
building blocks of life as we know it.
DNA.
I'll look into that. That's like that's like a final level kind of shit. So I need to.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I feel like you would need to be a scientist on the level of, like, say, Vegapunk to even contemplate using that in a productive way.
Well, on the other hand, Devil Fruit bullshit. Like maybe an in-game thing where he creates a semi-sentient acid beast.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah. I think literally all of us just went, at the same time.
Now, that said, leaving aside DNA as a thing, fluoroantimonic acid.
Okay, people are just gonna drop scientific terms, and then all of us are just gonna sit here in silence while we wait for them to explain.
As far as I'm aware, the strongest acid in the world, 10 quadrillion times more acidic than sulfuric acid.
I'm sorry, what? How can something that acidic actually exist without burning through everything that is around it?
I'm just going to link you to the Wikipedia article and go through the chemical equations there. Since people are already complaining about technobabble, I'm not going to go into the equations.
Goodness.
Okay. Just kind of skimming the article here. Just, Okay. So, safety. How could this logically be used where it wouldn't melt through everything?
That's what I was asking.
Like most strong acids, can react violently with water owing to the extent. It cannot be used in aqueous solution, only in hydrofluoric solution. I don't know what that means. Apparently it can be used in some things, and then anything else it will burn through literally everything in the world. Kind of, I think.
It will burn through anything which can undergo a chemical reaction with you would need an exceptionally chemically stable material to contain it.
You know, like if memory says, like, there's a thing with acid not melting through glass or something like that. That's a thing, right?
There's a thing with most acids and alkaline materials not reacting with glass, but there are some things where you don't want to store it in glass.
Right.
It will react with the silicon.
Science and stuff. I failed like most of my science qualifications in high school, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Whereas I'm probably going to need to look into it more. Viking R is biology major, very good. Chemist, have I mentioned she's amazing? She is.
Yes, you have. It's kind of adorable, actually.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry, I'm wrong there. It's incredibly adorable.
I would take offense, but I just, someone as amazing as her, I can't believe that someone like me.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. Also, we're going to get this from two directions now, by the way, because Slicer also has a girlfriend now.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Everyone's
Yeah, Fandom Flux is organic chemistry.
By the way, Spoken, has anyone ever told you that you sound like Phone Guy from the Five Nights at Freddy's series?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, has anyone ever told you that you sound like Phone Guy from the Five Nights at Freddy's series?
No, they never have. No.
Casey, Kenshi, what do you think?
I mean,
didn't think about it just now.
I don't play Five Nights at Freddy's. My only exposure to it is the Let's Plays that Achievement Hunter have done.
Well, likewise. I've never played the games, but I've watched a few Let's Plays of it. I've watched Markipliers and Jacksepticeye's and Josh Jepson's, where he quit after the fourth night.
So, Kenshi, do I sound like phone guy?
A little bit. I didn't think about it till he said it, but
Let me guess, and now you can't unhear it.
no, I'm not going to say that. Like, I would have made a sound of astonishment if it would have been that sort of reaction.
Yeah, I don't think anyone on the podcast really cares enough about phone guy to replace their, like, just sort of place their voice on yours and not the other way around.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, indeed.
You know, I've never had anyone tell me before my bass voice sounds like. I've heard plenty of people say that my accents sound like things.
Am I cutting out or is he cutting out?
He's cutting out a little bit.
Hold up. Sorry. Better?
Yeah, it's better.
I've had plenty of people say that the accents that I do sound like things, but I've never had anyone say that about my bass voice.
I never heard anyone compliment my bass voice as well, either, until the interview with Casey.
Until everyone did.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be fair. Your voice is actually more of a baritone.
Really?
I'm mostly joking, but yeah, that is in a reasonable baritone range.
I do sing better with bass, so I just found that a bit surprising. I mean, I suppose I could conceivably do baritone, but my strong suit is the lower notes.
Yeah. I think most guys can actually go a lot higher than they think they can and still stay in full voice. It's just a matter of getting your larynx to cooperate and knowing how to hold yourself. And
yeah, I know what that's like.
I tend to try and sing very high a lot of the time. Sometimes it works. Like when I was a teenager, I used to be able to do I used to be able to do a passable falsetto. Yeah. So,
I was pretty good at falsetto before my voice started changing. I was a high to mid soprano before my voice started changing.
Yeah. This was after my voice had changed, but it's just fallen out from lack of practice. I just don't do it anymore, so I can't.
Singing high before your voice drops as a man isn't falsetto. It's not the right vocal positioning for it. You're just a male soprano.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Yeah. So, anyone got anything to talk about? Because I do, but it's kind of depressing, so I'm going to leave it a little bit.
Steam Summer Sale.
Yeah, it's a thing, and it's kind of rubbish.
Well, I finally completed Pokemon Coliseum yesterday. After the tedious process of purifying every last Pokemon, including a crash right before I was about to purify the last 6 that I had. I got to the point where they were all purified, and then I decided to tackle the Coliseum mode as the last thing. Once you beat the 100 battles of Mount Battle's Coliseum mode, you get a Ho-Oh. So I had to train all of my team up to the same level, same high level, and after that, tackled the 100 levels of Mount Battle Coliseum mode. The 98th out of them was the hardest by far. The guy had a Groudon and a team that worked devastatingly well with it. But interestingly enough, the guy that came after the guy that came after him had a Kyogre, and it was pathetic. Started with he got off 2 attacks in the battle, and out of those, one of them was neutralized by Protect. So, and the last battler didn't even have any legendary Pokemon. I mean, his team was strong, sure, but I was expecting something like a Rayquaza to deal with on the last level. With how he's.
Well, I mean, I get why narratively, but legendaries aren't terribly overpowered.
Yeah, I mean,
like even back in Gen 3.
Yeah, they're usually a little bit stronger than the highest possible strength that, let's say, ordinary Pokemon can have. And that's about it. And they'll have a really quote-unquote good move that's unique to them most of the time.
See, my thing is, they're not that stronger than regular Pokemon. Like if you breed 5 perfect or 6 perfect upper tier Pokemon, then you're going to be beating legendaries into the dirt.
Well, of course, but this wasn't an amateur who was just relying on power, who was using it. The CPUs knew how to work their teams and take full advantage of the legendary's bulk. I mean,
fair enough.
Really?
Yes, really.
So when they took full advantage of the legendaries, they swapped them out for something that wasn't scrub tier and sent that in instead.
Yeah, you basically just described how the Blaze Black teams work, Patient. So that's why I was going, really?
Well, let me see. The way that it worked, the Groudon trainer, the one that took me 3 tries to defeat, Groudon had the 3 moves I saw it had were Fire Blast, Ancient Power, and Earthquake, and it was rather proficient in using those. Aside from that, he had an Alakazam with the Elemental Punches, Shift Tree with Fake Out Silver Beam.
Alakazam with Elemental Punches is actually kind of a shit play, because those are physical attack moves.
And it's an Alakazam.
Yeah.
They're only physical.
Plus, you didn't get on any of them.
Counterpoint. They're only physical moves in Generation 4 and onward. In Generation 3, they're still special.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You still didn't get stabbed, though. Better to stick with Psychic types.
Well, even so, Alakazam is stupidly powerful in terms of special attack.
Oh. Also, it's not best just to stick with stab moves. Like, I'm gonna talk about Blaze Black again, but Roxy's gym in our Blaze Black 2 run.
Dr. Roxy!
Yeah, like I say, they plan out the teams very well for the gym leaders. Like, she would start out with, I think it was a Trubbish, that would immediately lay down toxic spikes, so anything you put out gets poisoned. And then every Pokemon after that she has would know Venoshock, which does double damage against poisoned Pokemon. But also, they would have moves specifically put on there just for the types that can't get poisoned. So you would have things with Flamethrower, or what's good against poison? I forget.
Fucking nothing, that's what.
Psychic. Psychic's good against poison, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Psychics are strong against poison. Ground types are strong against poison.
Yeah, they had some ground moves as well, yeah. So, like, things that literally couldn't get poisoned, and thus the Venoshock technique wouldn't work on, they would just have something else for it that wasn't in a poison move, but would just demolish anything, even without stab.
Well, what if you had a poison type? I mean, if you throw out a poison type on toxic spikes, doesn't that automatically make the spikes disappear?
It does, and that was pretty much what we did the second time we fought her. Was just put out a poison type. Oh god, that fight was annoying.
And I mean, I know exactly what you mean about not fully relying on stab. I mean, one of my better fighters was in my Coliseum team as an Octillery, and its moveset was Octazooka, Psychic, Fire Blast, and Protect.
I feel like I need to explain what stab is again, because it's one of those lesser known Pokemon techniques that the audience never seems to know what it is. Like, I had to explain it like 5 times during the Pokemon run. It was...
If you use a move that's the same type as the Pokemon using the move, you get a slight damage boost.
Slight, it's 50%.
Slight, it's half again the damage.
Unless your Pokemon has the ability Technician introduced in Gen 4, in which case it's double the damage.
Yeah, so there are, in fact, quite a few times where it's better to use a stab move than it is to use a super effective move.
Yeah, that's actually how I won one of my later battles in the Coliseum mode of Mount Battle. The last Pokemon on the field were my Meganium and the opponent's Sceptile. Sceptile was spamming Crunch, apparently having no better moves. I was using the Sunny Day Solar Beam combo, and as soon as I realized just how much stab reinforced that with Meganium's special attack, well, Sceptile didn't last long.
Yeah, we never did a weather team, did we, Kenshi?
Nope. Because it was hard to set up, and stuff would kill us very quickly if we didn't get them out of there.
Yeah, I built most of my team in Coliseum around Sunny Day. My Espeon and Umbreon know Morning Sun and Moonlight, respectively. Meganium knows Sunny Day, Solar Beam, and Synthesis, and Octillery knows Fire Blast. So.
See, here's the thing. If something died while setting up one of these weather combinations, we wouldn't get them back. So we couldn't afford to dilly-dally with stuff.
That would basically end the weather team right then and there, was the problem.
The thing is, you could use Pokemon like Tyranitar, for instance.
You are severely underestimating how effective that game is at killing you.
Yeah. I think
you get one of the ones that's made by you get one of the Pokemon games that's not made by Game Freak, and they are horrifyingly good at murdering the entire party.
Yeah, like I think the only Pokemon we ever got that was any kind of worthwhile sturdiness was Steelix. Like right at the very end of the game, we had a level 100 Steelix that had sturdy. And then I perfected its EVs to be defensive as hell. And yeah, that thing swept the entire Elite Four and Champion in just like without no switching, never used anything else, just that one Pokemon destroyed the entire Elite Four.
I wonder why.
Yeah, that was a fun day. like that entire game kicked our ass for the entire span of it, and then just that one moment of catharsis where we could just ruffle stomp the entire thing. It was great.
That sounds incredible.
And then the post game happened.
Okay, shall we move on from this subject?
Yeah, we kind of went a little deep on the Pokemon thing, and
You're actually really making me want to try downloading Pokemon Zeta once more. See if I can get past like the second gym.
Okay. I'll just wrap this up quickly. Now that I've got Ho-Oh, I'm finished with Pokemon Coliseum. Probably going to, at some point, transfer my Coliseum team to my Emerald version to see about transferring them up through the line, particularly so my Piloswine can evolve into Mamoswine on Platinum version. That'll be good. Anyway, now that I've completed that, I'll be playing XD Gale of Darkness all the way through for the first time at some point in the near future, and I already have an intention in mind to surprise anyone further down the line with a Scizor that knows Morning Sun. Picture that.
That sounds dangerous.
Oh, yes.
So, anyone got, oh, Spoken, you were going to talk about something. The Steam sale, that was it. You brought up the Steam sale.
I managed to pick up some really nice games that I've had my eye on for a while. I picked up Banished.
That's the settlement building thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Blockhood, which is a nicely weird little kind of pseudo-aesthetic resource management game. You build buildings and people move in, and each of the buildings require certain things and generate certain things, and you manage pollution, and it's kind of like making an environmentally friendly Kowloon walled city. Which sounds really weird, but it's fun. Dungeon of the Endless, which, it's on sale. I've wanted this game for so long, and I got the game and all the DLC for like half off.
I mean, in fairness, the Endless stuff tends to go on sale fairly regularly. Like, I've seen it like 6 times go on like 50% sale. Endless.
Yeah, this was Dungeon plus the complete Endless franchise.
Oh.
And there hasn't been a sale on the complete franchise pack in over 6 months.
Fair play.
One Finger Death Punch, which is a fun little time waster popcorn game. XCOM 2, which I've been playing the hell out of for the last 4 days.
Woo.
And Planetary Annihilation Titans.
That's
which
a 4X game, I think.
It's an RTS, actually.
Okay.
Which has been the inspiration for a wave of the weirdest and most fascinating self-insert fics on space battles and sufficient velocity.
Okay. Yeah, I have had far less success with the Steam sale this year. I bought one game. It was called Weapon Shop Fantasy. I put it on my wish list because it seemed like Recettear, which it was. It is a gutter tier version of Recettear.
So it's
garbage. That was disappointing. But it was only £3, so, disappointing. I'm more annoyed at the waste of time playing it than I am the money spent on it, to be honest. Like, there were so many better things I could have done than...
Have you spent more than 2 hours playing?
Let me check. I can't tell what that says. 100 minutes.
Okay, yeah, you can get a refund for that.
I would be able to if I hadn't had it for too long, I think, at this point.
Have you had it for for more than 2 weeks? If you bought it during the Steam sale, then no, you haven't. You could still get a refund for that.
I don't care. It probably seems kind of wasteful, but I don't want to deal with the crap. So, yeah, that's all I got from the Steam sale, and it was not worth it. Like, the amount of games that I've bought in previous Steam sales, there is nothing that I really need to buy anymore. Like, I have about 60 games that I have just not even touched. I have Shadow of Mordor sitting in my Steam list that I have not even looked at, let alone played. So
fair enough. Like, I keep on telling myself, one of these days, I'm going to start up this game or that game. One of these days, I'm gonna actually play all the way through, like, fucking, which one? Crisis. I've never played past Crisis 2's tutorial mission. Of course, mostly that's because when I originally got it, my video card was a potato. I've never completed the Borderlands pre-sequel, but that's mostly because
it's kind of boring.
No, I really like the gameplay, and I really enjoy the changes in mechanics. The problem is they added voice acting to try and make it more appealing to single player experience, and I fucking hate the voice acting. Oh my god, all of the characters are just such loathsome pieces of shit.
Yeah, but I mean, Borderlands 2 had, voice characters and interesting characters, and everyone's kind of a loathsome piece of shit there as well. It's just that they're better written and more interesting. They're just not interesting in pre-sequel.
No. Everyone in Borderlands 2 was a piece of shit, but they weren't loathsome. They were hilarious. I wanted to punch them in the face and then share a beer with them.
Yeah,
in the pre-sequel, I want to punch them in the face and then keep punching them in the face until I can feel the back of their skull against my fist. I hate Wilhelm so much.
Yeah. My stepdad got super into that game, and I still, to this day, don't really understand why. In fairness, he got into, all of the Borderlands games. He went through Borderlands 2 and did all of the DLC and all of the high-end raid content and everything. Maxed out all of the legendary weapons to the most ridiculously overpowered bullshit that they could.
Who's he?
My stepdad.
He didn't need to because he didn't have to think about these things. He just had to kill everything and wait for the one-liners.
To be fair, Borderlands 2, for farming things for drops and treating it like a quasi-single-player run-and-gun MMO, works really well. I've taken the time to farm my Necromancer up to the point where she's basically invincible.
God, I love the Necromancer.
What build do you use?
I think I basically just had Deathtrap be my agent of destruction and then just kind of hid behind a wall for the entire
Why does everyone use Deathtrap? Every person I know who plays Gage uses the fucking Deathtrap. Anarchy is amazing.
I know, but Deathtrap's awesome. It's just a giant robot with a laser and a buzzsaw. It's fucking great.
I know, but you can go full Anarchy and still have enough points by endgame to stat Deathtrap out as well.
Yeah, I guess.
We ignore Anarchy so often. It's so fucking useful. You don't even need to aim.
I know, but that's the problem. It kind of... I'd say it takes the skill out of it, but it kind of doesn't. It's just that then you're just playing random chance is what the game becomes. It's just wait until the bullets hit something.
Meh. See, the fun thing is Anarchy combined with a sniper rifle. Because it doesn't actually increase the area that the bullet might go, because there's no deviation in Borderlands 2 away from the center of the scope. It just increases the wobbling of the scope. So if you've got good reflexes, you can play Anarchy Gage.
And just wait for the scope to land on something and then just shoot.
Yeah. Just wait for the scope to randomly move over the target's head and then boom!
I miss Borderlands. I'm waiting patiently for the next actual good Borderlands game, which they're apparently working on.
Well, yeah, they more or less set up as many sequels as they want. No rest for the wicked.
Yeah, just kind of hoping what's-her-name doesn't come back. What was it? Jenny? Or something? The mechanic girl that you find at the beginning that really...
Tiny Tina?
No. She was okay. I was fine with Tiny Tina. The one in...
the blimp.
Huh?
The redneck lady who's basically shaped like a beach ball.
Oh, no. Pre-sequel. The one at the beginning of pre-sequel that finds you and stuff. And...
Holy shit, I forgot she existed.
Yeah. She was terrible and really, really did not endear me to the game at all in the first, 5 hours.
They won't bring her back.
Sorry?
They won't bring her back. They're probably not going to bring anyone back from the pre-sequel.
Oh, it's a beautiful dream. Well, you say that. I think some of the characters from, the playable ones, Athena, I want to say they're going to bring back because she was in the framing device. We're talking about Borderlands a lot, and I feel like we're kind of stuck on the subject a little bit.
We're talking about a lot.
We talked about Pokemon for 20 minutes, so But yeah, she was in the framing device that was being told after the end of pre-sequel and after Borderlands 2, so I feel like she's going to be back. I think everyone else died though. So.
What about the what's his name? Jim?
Jim?
The fake Handsome Jack.
I think you kill him in 2 because you kill a lot of Handsome Jack doubles.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, he told Jack to fuck off at the end of 2, and at the end of pre-sequel, and he wasn't going to be with him anymore.
Oh. Yeah, again, I didn't play pre-sequel to completion, as mentioned, because, yeah.
I played through to the that bizarre lava area, and then I just said fuck it and read the TV Tropes page.
I forget how far I got into it. It wasn't very far. It was you get to the city and then you're told to do something, and I'm like, that was pretty much it. So yeah, waiting for the next one of those.
One of these days, I am going to play through Mark.
And then it's bang, zoom, straight to the moon. You keep saying one of these days, and I've been waiting to just finish that quote for you every time.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Ralph Cramden.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us the most famous domestic violence quote we could ever possibly have.
I was talking to you, Casey.
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to use it.
It's such a famous quote. I can't not say it when someone says one of these days.
Yes, you can. You can say it, or you can do it by not saying it.
Because you commented on how often I've said that and you haven't replied.
Because you kept talking. Anyway. So yeah, people that like to use that quote, that's actually talking about a man beating his wife. So just want to point that out.
Supposedly beating his wife, that is. He never really has the guts to actually do it.
Yeah, he never does it, but what he's saying is, one of these days I'm going to hit you so hard you are going to fly into space. Yeah, that's a thing. The 50s, they were fun.
Yeah.
So, anything else from anyone?
Yeah, this damn download needs to finish.
What are you downloading?
Modern Warfare Remastered.
I thought we were supposed to stop all the downloading.
This is for PlayStation.
Huh.
Also, my internet's incredible.
Why are you buying Modern Warfare Remastered?
Because I want the glory days.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
There is apparently a men's clothing store that is actually called Soup.
It's a funny joke. I gotta give him credit for that. That's probably terrible marketing, but it's still funny.
I was convinced to buy this game yesterday. I wasn't gonna get it.
DLC as well?
No. Fuck that.
Yes, spoken?
Yeah, no, the Soup store is a kids' clothing store that has been around since well before that video went up.
Huh.
It's got one review on Yelp, and it's from 2012.
Wow. Okay, apparently that one guy in that skit should be getting less shit from the other guy, I guess.
Except that he's buying clothes at a children's store.
You don't know his size. My mom has to buy children's shoes.
Look at him.
I haven't actually seen the video. I've just seen videos that use the quotes and the script.
One moment, please.
No, thank you. I can't watch it now anyway.
Yeah, I know you can't watch it now. You can watch it after the podcast is over.
Yeah, that's a good point. You should probably have it as a link.
I think the original video was supposed to be Demo Man talking to Spy. Demo Man is the one looking for clothes.
Okay. So
yeah, Demo's not getting, unless it's pants, he's not getting kid-sized clothing.
Okay. So can someone talk you into buying Modern Warfare for some reason?
Yeah, and I didn't put up that much of a fight. Although to be fair, it was either buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered or buy Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy.
You made the wrong choice. Also, you're an enabler now.
Well, I would say he made the wrong choice. I mean, I'd go for Crash Bandicoot given those two, but have you played Crash Bandicoot? It is painfully easy to die.
Yeah, I loved the hell out of all of the Crash games until I think Crash Bash was the last one I played. That was fun still, but that was it.
Yeah. When you say it's incredibly easy to die, that's the point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, don't touch anything and break boxes.
And spin to win. And slide sometimes.
And jump with perfect timing to avoid falling into a pit or falling down so far that you can't, that you have to go through a tedious process to get back up.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. I 100%ed 2 and 3. Okay, I know the score. Well, in fact, I 105%ed the third one because
this is you're talking to a group of people that have played the Crash Bandicoot games, and at least one of us has played Dwarf Fortress. Insane difficulty is not a downside.
Yeah, I don't even find these games that hard. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to getting it in platinum.
Okay, let him talk.
Thank you, Casey. I wasn't saying that I'm not a fan of the games, but I will say that for lack of opportunity, I've only played part of the first one, and that first one is the original one, not the remastered one. I know that I've gotten to the point where I've beaten Ripperoo, but that's the most I can remember.
I'm going to be honest, the first one was not very good. It baffles me that it is like people have pulled it and people overwhelmingly say the first one is their favorite. I think they're wrong.
Warped
nostalgia.
Warped was amazing. 2 was the first one I played and gets a special place in my heart, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, those games were good, except for the first one. But yeah.
I just like playing games in order. On the note of classic games that came out on the PS1, what about Spyro the Dragon?
Oh, yeah.
I heard they're going to remaster that too.
Are they going to remaster everything?
Yes.
Well, why not?
Oh yeah, why not? Let's just remake the shit that we've already made in the past and milk it until it's
selling.
In fairness,
activity is too difficult, apparently.
In fairness, like a lot of the amazing stuff that we remember from our childhoods was made with technology that, by today's standards, is absolute garbage fire stuff.
You're not wrong.
So you can't go back to it anymore. Like, not with the same
rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, it's a rose-colored glasses thing. You actually go back and you realize, oh wait, this was kind of shit. Yeah. So I can totally get behind people bringing these games back and updating the gameplay and the graphics so that it looks as good as we felt like it looked back in the day. So we can still go back and enjoy these games, because it's really hard to otherwise.
Well, my biggest complaint is that when they do remasterings or updated re-releases, they're doing it for games that came out like 5 years ago now. Like,
oh yeah, Modern Warfare is bullshit. I'm giving Kenji shit because Modern Warfare is bullshit.
I can't go back and play it on PlayStation 3 now.
Like, they've got a fucking Gears of War remastered now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's a game that had a lot of glitches and errors the first time, that's one thing, but I assume that you're talking about games that they're just remastering with slight advances in technology to make it just more HD or something.
Trying to milk a little bit more profit out of its wrinkled black teats.
Kenchi, I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say you're buying this game because multiplayer.
Yes.
That's the thing. They're updating it and re-releasing it because that way they can give the multiplayer an adrenaline shot, essentially. So people will go back and actually play the first one again, and that gives them an excuse to sell it again. Beyond that, they aren't doing shit.
This is a 100% pure nostalgia purchase. I can't even explain to you how many hours were lost playing this game when it came out. Those were the good times. I got my running crew off of this game, and they're still my running crew to this day. And they're the fuckers that convinced me to buy it.
Yeah. It's still like, what is it, $40 for the game?
Yeah, I'm not justifying what I did. I'm just explaining my thought process and doing it.
And
one moment.
I hate Activision so much.
Yeah, I do too. But this was the time they got me, and it's the last time they got me, so they got me again.
If I may step back a bit, if you don't mind, how much did you play Spyro the Dragon?
I 100%ed the first 3 games.
Less than Crash Bandicoot, but a lot more than other things.
God, I hate automated calls.
You hate what?
I hate automated calls.
Yeah. So we're talking Spyro.
I mean, I've 50%, however much you get from Nasty's loot, the first game, and I've purchased the second game, but I haven't gotten around to playing much of it yet. I've beaten the first area, but that's as far as I've gotten so far.
Yeah, see, this is the thing I was talking about. I've actually gone back and played Spyro 2, and yeah, it's hard to go back. This is the thing I was talking about. I've gone back to play Spyro 2 because I felt like that was my favorite one. And
then you realize, oh wait, this is poly counts that I could get up to on the main character without taking my shoes off. Never mind.
And by that logic, because I went back and played Spyro 2, which was supposed to be my favorite, but I didn't go back and play Spyro 1, I now consider Spyro 1 my favorite. But if I ever go back to play that, I'm going to hate the entire series.
Well, honestly, the original Spyro the Dragon, do you remember the final boss fight?
Oh god, yeah.
All of this time building up to this big, bad, magical ogre thing that you have to defeat in order to make sure that the dragons are safe. And what are you faced with in the end?
5 minutes of flying around.
No, not flying. Running.
Yep. Yeah, if memory serves, it was kind of like those egg chase things. Was it the egg
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You had two of those egg thieves that you had to chase down for keys. The first key opened up a passageway to another egg thief with a key, and the second key lowered down the platform that Nasty North was on so that you could jump up and chase after him as he went on a long, long run through the stage.
In fairness, those fucking egg things, I loved to hate those things. They were good fun, but they were infuriating.
Yes. Love to hate. That's a good way of putting it. But
you can put it slightly more crudely and say they were those fucking egg things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nasty North was basically that in the end. You go after the couple of egg thieves, you run down this long and winding passageway, no Beatles reference, and when you get to the platform where he stops for a minute, you either breathe fire at him and move to the next stage, or you have to go down the long and winding pathway again. And if you do breathe fire on him, oh good, he goes into a mechanical cave with platforms that jut out and are very slowly sinking into the walls, so that you just have to make sure that you jump and glide and get on them before you run out of leg room and plunge into your doom in the lava below. And at the end of that, what do you have waiting for you? Nasty Nork in a very small area. He fires a couple of blasts from his magical mace if you even let him, and if you don't, just breathe fire on him once and he's done.
This sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's why I haven't gone back to play it.
I mean, the bosses up until him were pretty entertaining. They were interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if memory serves, the bosses in 2 were still actually kind of fun, I think. But,
You think?
I mean,
in fairness, it was still a while ago that I played it last.
I've never played 3, but all of the opinions I hear from Spyro fans are that after the PS3 trio is when the series started going downhill.
After the PS3 trio?
PS1 trio. I had 3 in the mind. Sorry.
Yeah, there was the first 3, and then there was, I think it was Enter the Dragonfly was the 4th one that was on PS2, and my sister liked that one. My sister played it and liked it. I didn't play it, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
At that point, it was Ratchet and Clank that was the thing that I would play. That was
Ratchet and Clank. Doesn't that have some sort of similarity to Jak and Daxter?
It's literally the same thing again, of like Crash and Spyro were the things, and then it became Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was the Insomniac, which was Spyro. Jak and Daxter was Naughty Dog, which was Crash.
For me, I mean, I bought the
Crash, Jak and Daxter was a piece of shit.
I mean, I bought the Jak and Daxter trio for PS3 several months back. I played through the first game, 100%ed it. It was a bit challenging, but it was fun just to do the whole collectathon thing. The second game, it went... No, it just... You go from this happy, bright, colorful world where you're trying to stop a couple of bad guys from taking over the world and going on all sorts of colorful quests, and then you're suddenly... The second game starts with you getting warped.
They got trapped in the 2003 grimdark resurgence. Like, Prince of Persia did the same thing. Ratchet and Clank almost did the same thing, but they still managed to keep it light and funny.
Ratchet Deadlocked?
That was a bit later. Going Commando was the one that came out the same as Jak 2.
Fair enough. I'm thinking of Deadlocked as their grimdark moment.
Yeah, but that came out as the 4th game in their series, where it was already established and it could recover, and did recover. So, yeah.
For me, I played through the first game. I even played all the way to the end of the second game, but I didn't... The darker and edgier way that they were doing the plot from then on and just didn't appeal to me. I didn't even touch the third game before I sold the collection.
I still love the Ratchet series, like all of it, up to... Actually, all of it, yeah. I loved every single game of the Ratchet series. I liked Deadlocked. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Haven't played the Ratchet series myself.
I found Deadlocked to be an acceptable, like, run and gun, but the story was just kind of garbage.
Yeah.
On the note of old game trios, what was it? YouTuber named the Speedster that's the Crossbrain support on Patreon. Good guy for countdowns and Let's Plays. He's expressed a particular fondness for the Sly Cooper series. Any of you play that?
I tried. I bought the collection on PS3, and I couldn't really get into it, to be honest.
Yeah, it never really appealed to me, so I didn't play them.
I played one of them. It was charming and kind of twee in its own way, but the platforming was just ew. Like, even for a PS2 era game.
I'd have to.
I'll be honest, you could do like a whole video series on the history of Sony's big, I'm not going to say first party, but like their big exclusive developers. Like Naughty Dog, Insomniac, and Sucker Punch, I think it was. Yeah, because they did Sly, and then they went on to do Infamous, which was really good. So, like, yeah, they had some good studios under their belt, and now they have a good studio under their belt, essentially, at this point. That'd be Naughty Dog, by the way, for people that weren't aware. Yeah.
Well, Insomniac is supposedly still developing things.
They are, but they're not exclusive anymore because they've done things like the Sunset Overdrive, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Isn't that one of Jonathan Joestar's attacks?
I think it's a pun on something that sounds like it could be one of his attacks. We kind of need to wrap this up because I'm not going to lie, I really need to go to the bathroom. We've gone for an hour. So
recommendations, anyone?
Maybe not.
I don't have any.
I don't really have anything yet.
No.
I'm going to see whether anything comes up. If you've got something spoken, quick, please.
Nah, not really.
Okay, so I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 182. Please join on Patreon if you feel so inclined. The Patreon hasn't gone through yet, so I'm not going to mention that. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 182. Bye now. I really need to go. Everybody.